Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. I don't know why the light is so bad, it doesn't want to cooperate with me. Today I am filming my next one in random book series that I made on my channel, which I basically just made because I feel like I only talk about some books on my channel once and then I never talk about them again, and it makes me a bit sad because I have so many books and I want to talk about them. So basically what I usually do is that I pick out 3 books I already read, 3 books I haven't read, and talk about them a bit like what I thought about them, where I got them, whatever memories I have connected with them. I think it's a fun way to like talk again about books on my channel or just never talk about it again. And also I have specific editions written up on my like books I own list, so it's like need to find that specific edition. I have some problems now though because my books are spread out so many different places, so like if I get something far away I need to go a little far to get it, and that will be a struggle. So let's hope I'm lucky and it's just right behind me. Probably not lucky though. So I thought we could start with books I have read, so I just need to find my list and I need to put in my number generator. It's just a really long list, I need to scroll a lot, okay? Jesus, this took ages. So right now I have 1,506 books I haven't read. I mean. So we're gonna generate and I will find the one with on that number and we will talk about it. Let's see. 229. This list is alphabetical. It should be like something really far up. Let's just hope it's just not something I need to go and look for really hard. Where is 229? Whew. Okay, it's not something I need to go look for really hard, I think. Okay, so it is in another room, but we can deal with that. So I got The Evercruel Kingdom by Richard Pecco. This one is the second book to Never Tilting World, which was a FAES pick for some month in some year. I don't even remember. And I think it was the May pick for 2021 perhaps, yeah. And that's like not the only reason I read it, because I love Richard Pecco and this is like the sequel. It is a duology. For the longest I thought it was going to be a trilogy, but it was not. And it basically is set in this world where it's split in two. We have one part that is really like cold and like nighty, and another part that is like really like deserty and cold and hot, not cold, like really sunny. And there was these two sisters that split the world many years ago, and now we follow their children that I'm gonna probably meet if you read the first book. I have something in my eye. It's all from 4 different perspectives. We go in order of the perspective constantly, and then we just get to know the story where they all are maybe going to meet in the middle of these two sides of the world, because it's not going well in either of them and I need to fix what happened all those years ago. It has a lot of questions, some answers maybe, some drama, some really cool mythical creatures. I really enjoyed it. I don't think it's the best thing ever because I feel like it was still like a lot of confusion in it. But I enjoyed the first one a lot. I enjoyed the conclusion. It was a fun time. And honestly, can't remember like what happened in the end, but what else is new, huh? What else is new? Okay, let's do the next one. Let's see. Did I press? No, I didn't. 434. I feel like we've gotten this number before, but the numbers move every time I add something, so it's not like we could get the same. Or we could get the same, but not the same number. Oh god. Have I gotten this one before? Well, it's right over here, so there's that. So this is actually a really old book. Yeah, I was gonna say old because we don't really sell it in stores here anymore. It's not in hardback, only in paperback. And that is India's Daughter by Silippi Somaya Gowda, and I think the English title for this is Secret Daughter. And this one is set in 2 different like timelines slash perspectives. So we have a young mother in India who gets a young girl. She has to give her away because they do not want to have her a girl. This girl is adopted to this couple in America. I don't know why I said it like that, in the US. And we just see her grow up and how this couple struggles and how this daughter is trying to find like her family, trying to find like the roots of herself, and how this mother never forgets the daughter she lost. Why am I getting goosebumps? Because it was such a stunning story. Honestly, I didn't expect much going into it. I think it was a beautiful story about who you really are and how it doesn't matter where you come from. It does matter, but like how who you are doesn't change depending on where you come from. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, it could have affected you. You got what I meant. And how like you think it's gonna go a certain way, but it does not at all. As a person who's adopted myself and also from another, well, Asian country, I don't know, it spoke something into me because it didn't go to like the typical shit adoption books I have otherwise read. And I just really enjoyed it. I didn't think I was gonna care this much at all. I remembered very fondly, and it was just a really good and solid book. I don't know how other people feel about, you know, I was gonna say Indian rap, but I do think the author is Indian herself, even though like she grew up in Canada, but like, you know, she's still Indian. I just really enjoyed it, and you know, it's not really like what I read like in general, but maybe lately it's become more what I read, I guess. But like this is kind of different type of like, I was gonna say Asian literature that I read, because it like usually when I read things that are not fantasy, it is like adult stuff or like white contemporary stuff, but adult as in not this kind of adult book, more like translated stuff. I don't know how to describe the difference in genre, so it's just surprising to me that I enjoyed it so much, but it just doesn't go where you think it's gonna go, and because of that I really enjoyed it. Okay, let's do the last one that I have read. 1057. Let's see. I think later I should take up the number because I have so many books, but then we will be here for so long. Ooh! I don't know where this book is. It might be like up, but is it up there or is it up behind me? I feel like I talked about this one before as well, but it might just be in my dreams. I need to go and look for quite a long while probably. I can't find it. I think it is up somewhere, but I couldn't see it. And there's so many books in a way that is like a hassle to get to. And I don't have the effort. I'm really sorry. But the book I got, I will pop a picture. It's The Vampire by John Polidori. And I have a Norwegian edition of this. So I will pop a Norwegian picture that I got from my friend Johanna many years ago for Christmas or birthday or something. And it's basically, people say it's the first vampire story. Now I actually don't know what the first vampire story is. It's like before Dracula. It's like a really old vampire story that like basically has all the Dracula traits, but like Dracula is like credited for it, as I remember correctly. And I really enjoyed it. I was just like, oh my god, this became before Dracula, and I was shocked. But this might all be wrong, because honestly, what do I know? And then I read it. It's like this short, and I had it for years before I finally read it. I used like 20 minutes on it, and it was a good time, and that's all I remember. But yeah, I still remember who gifted me it, and I know I have it somewhere, I just don't know where. I thought also, when I looked up there, that where I thought it was initially, there was a bunch of books there that are Norwegian that I had forgotten I owned. I don't even know if they own my TBR list. I hope so, because then else I would forget I have them. I actually feel like going through my book collection today to like reorganize the books that I forget I have, even though I just reorganized. But that was the book I knew I have, and it's just like a bunch of old Norwegian books up there. I'm like, I don't know, do I want them anymore? I don't know. I think I had plans to read them at that point. But yeah, I have forgotten I had like half the books up there. I was just like, oh, there's this pile of books I got for free in a bookstore when I worked there 5 years ago. So I discovered that. Let's do my TBR books. Let's see how many books. I don't think I updated this though. Okay, so I updated my TBR list a bit, but I think it might be outdated because I have become very lazy with different stuff. Currently, 488 books on my TBR that I've written up. That doesn't count manga because I don't write it up there. Let's go. This is just from earlier. But yeah, let's go. 407. What could that be? This is an order-ish of when I got the books. So it's like, ooh. This I know I showed on my channel when I hauled it. So it is again a Norwegian book. I don't know why it shows up so many Norwegian books in this video, because my English books outnumbers my Norwegian books by like hundreds, but we end up on Norwegian books constantly. But that was funny because the other day I was searching up this author because she just came out with a new book that I want to read, and then I was just like searching her up, and I was just like, oh, she has this other book. Do I have this? And I completely forgotten I bought it early this year. Like, I literally bought it in February and I couldn't remember, and I could see it from my bed, like in the shelf, and I was just like, oh my god, I have this, and I had it for months and I have forgotten. And this one is like not the most recent one because she just came out with a new one. It's a Norwegian author that I read a book of a while ago. I'm gonna just show the book. It is Et liv forbi av Helga Flatland, and this one means like a life passes by, a life passed by, I would say. And it's like nobody a Norwegian author. She wrote this book called A Modern Family in English, and I read that years ago, and it fascinated me but I gave it 3 stars. And now I want to read every book by this author, even though like I didn't even love the one that I read. But she got a lot of acclaim for that book, won rewards, blah blah blah. This one came after, I didn't even know, but now I bought it because I was just like, ooh, sale, because I bought it like on a huge sale. It was so cheap. And I just got her newest one, which is like now selling really well, which I'm going to read soon, before this probably. I don't know anything about this plot. I know it's like a Norwegian thing. It says many Norwegian names here. They live in Oslo, blah blah blah. And there's this thing about Norwegian literature that I feel like they are really weird, but I cannot describe why. There's like certain thing about the genre, just like certain samples, they just feel strange. But I keep reading them because I'm Norwegian, okay? I'm stuck in this place. I don't know anything about this. But yeah, I bought it on sale earlier this year. Had forgotten the other day and I remembered, so I knew exactly what book it was. There's that. 105. Okay, so this should be a really old one. Let's see. Oh, it is. It's like an ancient one. I feel like I talked about this one before in another video as well. Like another random video. I hidden it away because I never read it. You know, I love my books dearly. I have loads and I love them all dearly. But it becomes such a hassle to get one book because I have so many now that I don't know why I'm doing this video. I'm breathless. That was exhausting. But yeah, We All Looked Up by Tommy Wallace. And I bought this like 1 billion years ago in a store that now has been closed down here in my city. Like they moved to another place, but when it was there, that was times. That was when books were actually cheap. Haha. They take them up the price like almost double since then. Not what to say. This was like I don't know if it was huge, but it was like, you saw it around in the time when it was released. When it was released? Trying to check. 2015. That's a few years ago. At least this British version. And it was just like when everyone was reading like John Green and all that stuff. So I think like it's something to do with that. It says like, it's basically like when we were lying. If one of us is lying by Karen Emma Magnus, it says, before the asteroid we let ourselves be defined by labels, the athlete, the outcast, the slacker, the overachiever. So you know, it's like any YA high school novel. And it says like, there's this asteroid thing. And I think they might be dead or something happened, so I don't even know. And I never read it. It said actually a fantasy because I had it in my contemporary shelf all these years. And I guess I'm going to read it one day. I don't know if I would even like it. But like some of the old books I had, it's not even old, but you get what I mean. I read later and then I actually enjoyed them a lot. So yeah, like The Secret Daughter one. So we shall see what happens. Okay, let's do the last one. 27! Oh my god. This might be like when I updated my list, so it's not like my actually own list one, but it's very old. Where is that one? I think it's over there again. It was a different time on BookTube, I think, when this was talked about. I remember I saw people talk about it in their stuff. So, we have Prisoner of Night and Fog by Anne Blankman. I think this follows the niece of Hitler. It's historical fiction. I bought it. There's a sequel. I never bought a sequel. Is it even like still in print? I don't know. Released in 2014. And I never read it. I had it for such a long time. Is this even good? People said it was good at the time. I trusted people. I bought it. Here we are. I never read it. And I had it for all these years. Like, it's not like I will unhaul it. I might read it one day, blah, blah, blah. But I lost all interest. Like I kind of lost all interest in both of these. Because, like, at this point, I bought it, like, when I was in different time. I know, like, 2014, 15, whatever. It's not that many years ago, even. It's, like, 7 years ago. So it doesn't feel like that long. Oh, my God. But you know what? 7 years ago is ages in the book world. Because that's almost 10 years. That's almost a decade. And the book world has changed so much since that. So what am I saying? That's ages. And it's like the books evolve, you know, with the trends, with what's in, and etc. So it's like, when you read an old book, you go back in the trends. And it's not always a bad thing, because, you know, there's always those star books in their trends anyway, like Hunger Games, I think will always age well, in my opinion. But I feel like, at this point, do I care? I think at the time I didn't even read historical fiction. I still don't really read historical fiction. And I hate, like, war stories as well. Also, do I want to read a story, like, anything to do with Hitler anyway? Do I? I don't know. Here we have it. Anyone tell me if that is actually good, or if it's just, like, what was in that, and then people just thought it was good, but now would it be still good? That's what I'm just starting to say. But yeah, that was the 6 books we're going to talk about in this randomized video. I hope you enjoy these. They're so random, but they're really fun. They're really like chilled and relaxed, like I always like to be. I'm having a good time. I hope you do too. And thank you so much for watching this video. Check out my Patreon down below if you want to support my channel further and join lots of free quiz and other perks. And leave a dice emoji down below if you enjoy this. Dice emoji, not a dance emoji. And you should send me seen in a new one. Goodbye.